Montana's news leader.
Good afternoon, and thanks so much for joining us to close out your week. I'm Aja Goare. Our top story today, Congress is reeling after two lawmakers announced their resignation Thursday amidst allegations of sexual misconduct. One, Senator Al Franken, was expected. The other, though, came as a surprise to many. CBS's Aja Zhang has the story.
Arizona Congressman Trent Franks issued a statement to announce he is resigning.
I'll let the statement speak for itself. Okay.
What does the statement say?
Take a look at it.
Franks' statement explains he and his wife have long struggled with infertility, saying we experienced 3 miscarriages. He admitted that his discussion of surrogacy with 2 previous female subordinates may have made each feel uncomfortable. Franks was facing a congressional ethics investigation into the matter, but said he didn't believe he could receive a fair hearing in the current political climate. The Ethics Committee announced it will reopen its 2015 investigation into Texas Congressman Blake Farenthold in light of new information. The previous investigation ended when Farenthold used $84,000 in taxpayer money to reach a settlement.
You gotta move, okay?
Also Thursday, Senator Al Franken announced his resignation. At least 8 women have accused Franken of unwanted groping or kissing.
Some of the allegations against me are simply not true. Others I remember very differently.
Republican Senator John Thune told CBS this morning he hopes this is the beginning of change.
What happened yesterday is unfortunate in the Senate, but I think on Capitol Hill, the discussion that we're having right now is long overdue.
Yes.
And I think what it points out is that action is needed.
And he added Alabama Republican Roy Moore is likely to face an ethics investigation of his own if he wins next week's Senate race. Aja Zhang, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
6 women have accused Moore of pursuing them romantically when they were teenagers, and he was in his 30s. The youngest at the time was 14. Here in Montana, a Busby man could spend the rest of his life in prison after a jury finds him guilty of first-degree murder for the strangulation and burning death of Royland Ride's horse last year. It took a federal jury less than 2 hours to reach a guilty verdict Thursday against 20-year-old DiMarzio Sanchez. Jurors could have convicted Sanchez of second-degree murder, which does not require the intent to kill. But the jury determined Sanchez strangled and burned Ride's horse, knowing it would end her life. All 5 people in the vehicle with the victim that night told a different story, making it difficult to sort out the facts. We do know Ride's horse got into the vehicle with her 3 assailants at the Kirby Saloon, and later that night she suffered a brutal assault. Jurors believe it was Sanchez who doused the victim in gasoline and set her on fire. Defense attorneys pointed the finger at his co-defendants, Frank Sanchez and Angelica Whiteman, who have already admitted their roles in the murder. Sentencing for DiMarzio Sanchez is set for March. Once the Pend Oreille County Sheriff changes his plea in a criminal case, he will not be able to carry a firearm while on the job. Sheriff Carl Suda plans to plead no contest to a charge of family member assault for an attack on his son. That agreement stipulates that Suda cannot possess a firearm for 1 year. A Montana Department of Justice spokesman says the sheriff is not legally required to carry a firearm in order to serve. A change of plea hearing is set for later this month. A rollover crash in Cascade County this morning leaves 1 person dead. Montana Highway Patrol received the report around 3 a.m. MHP tells us a young male driver was northbound in a pickup on Interstate 15 north of Vaughn. The truck drifted into the median before it skid across the road, went into the ditch, and rolled multiple times. The driver was pronounced dead at the scene. The cause of the crash is under investigation. Around 6,000 firefighters in Southern California are battling 6 major fires now stretching into the San Diego area. Across the region, more than 500 homes and other structures are destroyed. About 200,000 people are under evacuation orders. The Lilac Fire in San Diego County suddenly erupted Thursday and quickly engulfed dozens of buildings, including one neighborhood where nearly an entire block of homes caught fire. The largest blaze is the Thomas Fire in Ventura County, north of Los Angeles. In less than a week, it has scorched more than 130,000 acres. Smoky conditions have forced hundreds of schools in the region to close. Montana firefighters are on their way to help battle the wildfires in California. MTN's Nicole Miller talks with Flathead Fire officials on the Golden State's request for aid.
Firefighters faced a wall of flames early Thursday morning at the Thomas Fire in Ventura County, California. It's the largest of 4 wildfires that have burnt at least 200 homes, leaving thousands displaced. With forecasters warning winds could hit 80 miles an hour, the fires are spreading rapidly and help from the Treasure State is on the way.
Montana got a request from California along with 5 other states that they needed some help.
Flathead County Fire Manager Lincoln Shute says 50 strike teams from across the state, each with about 5 to 7 engines with different capabilities, are on their way to answer a call for help.
In the fire world, we all started calling around and seeing who had the capability of sending some resources out to California to give them a hand. This last summer we had some California resources up here, incident management teams and the like, so hotshot crews. So in the wildland world, different areas burn at different time of the year. We don't have a huge wildland fire danger right now.
With upwards of 200,000 people evacuated from their homes and more orders being issued, Shute says the strike team should arrive by Thursday evening and get straight to work.
It's a big commitment, being away from your family, long shifts, and it's a dangerous job, but that's why they train year-round for it too. Hopefully that the winds will subside, they'll get a little moisture.
Reporting in Kalispell, Nicole Miller, MTN News.
Thank you, Nicole. And Shute says the assignment is likely to last 2 weeks. A total of 54 firefighters from Montana are being deployed. And on the topic of weather, we turn now to Ed McIntosh, where the weather forecast is calling for showers of a different kind.
That's right. Well done, Asia, as we have no snow showers or even rain showers around for the most part, but the Geminid meteor shower is really active right now. It'll peak the middle of next week, but I wanted to bring it up now because it's been unusually active so far this year, and it's usually the strongest meteor shower of the year. So if you have some extra time, even after 10 o'clock in the evening, a lot of these you have to wait till the overnight hours, but through the late evening, through the early morning hours, you have a chance to be able to watch this, especially if the skies are a little bit clearer. Just be away from the city lights and give your eyes time to be able to adjust to that. We'll have more on the weather forecast coming up here in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Ed. We'll check back in. 2 prominent Republican U.S. senators are backing Montana State Auditor Matt Rosendale in his bid to challenge Democratic Senator Jon Tester. Senator Mike Lee of Utah and Ted Cruz of Texas have both announced endorsements of Rosendale. Both men are leaders of the Republican Party's conservative wing. It's the first time sitting members of Congress have announced support for a candidate in Montana's contested Republican Senate primary. Rosendale previously won support from President Trump's former chief strategist Steve Bannon. Tester is running for his 3rd term in 2018. National Republican leaders believe he could be one of the most vulnerable Democratic incumbents in the country. 5 other candidates are running against Rosendale in the Republican Senate primary. Before we get to break, a Browning actor who appeared in dozens of films is dead at the age of 56. Steve Rivas appeared in Twins, Dances with Wolves, Last of the Dogmen, Fargo, and The Longest Yard, along with TV shows Walker, Texas Ranger, and Jag. According to the International Movie Database, Rivas received an award from First Americans in the Arts in 1996 for supporting roles in both the critically acclaimed movie Fargo and in the TV movie Crazy Horse. Still to come on the new news, unrest in the Middle East continues after President Trump declares Jerusalem the capital of Israel. We'll take you there. But first, Ed has our weather forecast. We'll be right back.
You're watching MTN News with Aja Goare, Storm Tracker weather with Ed McIntosh, and farm and ranch news from the Northern Egg Network. This is the